Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. So I came up with a good saying in my previous video about what I want for the audience of my channel, and that is, let's just say if you've got $5,000 in crypto, my goal isn't necessarily for you to make 10x your money like a lot of other crypto channels claim. I actually just want you to keep your $5,000 as your number one rule, because that is the biggest impediment to your success. At this stage, the biggest danger is losing the money that you have through the variety of ways that can happen. There's so many vectors of attack, whether that is you yourself losing your seed phrase, or whether that's because someone scammed you or hacked you. And I'm going to give you some tools that you can use to prevent you losing your money to malevolent actors. And I'm going to give you some examples of how people might try it to get you. So I want to talk about what this YubiKey is real quick, right? So many of you are familiar with what a Google 2FA is. That's two-factor authentication. That is something that comes in addition to your password that acts as like a one-time password that only lasts like 15 seconds. And you've got this app on your phone and this new OTP. It refreshes like every 20 seconds, and you have to use this code and input it on the website that you're trying to access in order to be able to go onto your account. Now, this is a really good thing because it's been a long time since passwords weren't safe. I learned this the hard way when I got hacked on my RuneScape account, because my RuneScape account only had like a 6-letter password. I guess somebody was able to guess that. They took my full rune, and I've learned the mistake ever since that passwords just can't be relied on. And there's all these programs where people can do something called a brute force attack, where they've got some program that basically just force guesses like every word in the dictionary until they find your password and they're able to get into your account. So to get around this, or to get around the fact that maybe someone hacked into your account, hacked into your computer, they've hacked into your phone, and they found like a file in which you wrote down your password. To get around that, that is where 2FA comes in handy, because this one-time password only lasts like 20 seconds, and it's only accessible on your device, right? So what are the downsides of two-factor authentication? It's become like such an industry standard. Everyone uses it, but most people don't realize that it's not safe anymore. And particularly when it comes to crypto, it's very dangerous. Now, I want to give an example. It's like a Reddit post that I read a little while back, but I'm sure this is more common than you think. Someone was they were on holiday in Brazil. Right, so maybe that's the first hint, just don't go to Brazil. But he was like just looking at his phone or something like that. Someone drives by in a moped, yoink, just yoinks it right out of his life, and it's gone. And when he gets back home, he looks at his email on his laptop, and he discovers that all his crypto has been taken. Now, how did that happen? Well, it's very simple, right? Because on someone's phone, you have all of the tools required to make a withdrawal from an exchange, right? So imagine that person, the thief, he goes onto his Binance account, he sees all these funds, he's like, oh, that's good. He makes a withdrawal to his own address, and then there's two questions that are going to be asked, two requirements. The first is an email verification. Very simple, right? Because he's got the phone, he can then just go to one of the many email apps that are going to be on this victim's phone, and he's going to find, oh, Gmail, easy, right? Opens up Gmail, then he gets the Binance one-time password for the withdrawal, right? So that's one down. And then the 2FA, well, guess what? Google two-factor authentication is also on his phone. And what I really don't like about Google 2FA is the fact that it's not password protected. So if your phone gets stolen, like in this case, so this thief can just go onto the app and he'll find Binance. He'll get the one-time password, put it into Binance, and poof, all the money is gone, right? So let's just say if you do use an exchange, which I don't recommend to store funds, but look, we all need money to use as a hot wallet. I don't think it's reasonable to never have any funds on an exchange. But to me, having your phone is kind of like the biggest weak point in regards to keeping your funds safe, particularly if you use an exchange, because of the fact that everything can be accessed on there, the email and the one-time password from the Google Authenticator app, and on top of that, SMS verification if you use that, right? So if you need SMS verification, you can just go into your messages, right? So how does YubiKey prevent this? Well, YubiKey it fulfills the service of a two-factor authenticator, but it's not necessarily stored on your device, not necessarily. So it comes, think about it as kind of like a hardware wallet. And that circle thing in the middle is it's called NFC, right? So you don't have to necessarily plug it into your phone to be able to access the one-time password. You just tap your phone, and then let's just say, like, you know, you want to log into Binance. Instead of typing in the 2FA code, you just tap it with this key, and then boom, it's done. You can log on, you can withdraw, etc., etc. So in the worst case scenario of you get robbed in Brazil, the person would have to steal your phone and your wallet. And yeah, I know you're thinking, it's like, well, you know, that doesn't really help you that much, because, you know, maybe you go for a swim and all your stuff is in your bag. I know it doesn't sound that much better, but you've got to think about it in terms of, like, how many more obstacles can you throw in the way of the would-be malevolent actor to waste his time so you can get to the point where you can fix this problem as fast as possible. So in this case, let's just say if he does steal your wallet, let's say your YubiKey is in your wallet, right? You keep it on you. Well, then he has to know what it is. Like, most people have never seen something like this before, right? So when it comes time to enter the 2FA, he won't know what to do. He'll probably open up your Google 2FA app, and then he won't really see any Binance 2FA. He's not really going to know what to do with this. Now, who knows, maybe a couple of years down the line, every thief in Brazil, sorry, I keep picking on Brazil, but every thief in the world might know about how this works, right? Before, 10 years ago, probably not many people knew about 2FA, right? So now we're in the stage where YubiKey is not really well enough known. So let's just say if it was stolen, it's less likely they're going to know exactly how to use it. And again, this is a worst case scenario where you're like bringing this key, you know, which is a key to your crypto, around in your pocket in Brazil, of all places, right? Chances are you're going to keep this at home like a sensible person. And realistically speaking, Brazil aside, the biggest vector for attack is going to be remote. So if someone remote accesses your phone or your computer, that's where the danger happens. So the downside of, say, Google 2FA is if someone's able to gain access to your phone, then they would technically be able to see your 2FA passwords, and that's where YubiKey kind of acts like a hardware wallet for crypto, right? If you physically got it on your person, then the only danger vector are people that are in your physical vicinity, and that's usually not the case. The people that are stealing your crypto are in some other country. It's going to be like in Ukraine or North Korea or Africa or whatever, right? If you've got your key, your main concern is now your physical security. So don't bring it with you when you're out gallivanting in Brazil, and you should generally be okay. Now the next one is cold storage wallet, and you know, I feel annoyed almost having to talk about it because it's so cliche, and I know many of you are thinking like, look, I'm a genius already. I've been in crypto for a long time. I already have a bunch of cold storage wallets, but the reason why I mention it is because no matter how many crypto meetups I go to, no matter how many people I meet that are in crypto, for goodness sake, they still don't know what a hardware wallet is, or they haven't got one yet. And like 90% of the stories I read about someone getting hacked with their crypto, they never have a hardware wallet. It's like they've got one of the many wallets that exist as like a program on their computer. They've got the various hot wallets. They've got MetaMask. They're storing funds on their exchange, and they lose money that way. And they go, how could this have happened? Like, I've been in Bitcoin for 5 years, and I've stored funds in this wallet for ages, and it's gotten hacked. And whilst I feel bad for them, part of me just thinks like, how long have hardware wallets been around? They have been around for such a long time. How do you not know this already? And just go onto Reddit and start with that and just type it. I think this is actually a really good exercise, right? I think everyone in crypto should do this. Go into Reddit and just type in my wallet got hacked, right? And go read the stories, read what people say, so you can kind of develop an immune system, so to speak, you know, glean the failures of others to see exactly how they lost all their money. And you'll find that the majority of the time, they didn't have a hardware wallet. In fact, no, I can't think of a single story I read where someone's hardware wallet was hacked. I have never heard that story. Out of the dozens and dozens and dozens of hack stories that I've read, I've never heard someone hacking someone's Trezor wallet or Ledger Nano S. I've never heard it happen, right? Maybe you get someone in the comments say it happens, but at least in all my years, I've never heard it happen. As I mentioned, it's someone with like a wallet app on their computer, on their phone, and it never works out, right? And the other vector for attack is, again, if it's on an exchange, that's where you're likely to lose money. I mean, the amount of exchange hacks that happen on a yearly basis is staggering. And the reason why you don't hear about it as much as you should is because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands. I should have started with thousands. There are thousands of exchanges all around the world using different currencies, languages. They're in different regions, and you don't hear about the latest hack that happened on the biggest exchange in India or like Brazil or like Uzbekistan or Guinea-Bissau, right? I actually don't know about those things, but I do know there was a big hack in some exchange in India, but you don't know about that because that's Indian news, right? So all you have to do, again, another exercise, is just go type in exchange hack on Google, like go to Google, go to the news section and just type in Google hack, exchange hack. And you're going to find out very quickly that exchange hacks happen all the time. And what do you think happens when all those funds disappear? Do you think that the exchange is going to reimburse you? Well, actually, maybe. Mt. Gox has like really shocked me about the fact that they have restored everyone's funds. Even FTX is paying out big time. Maybe they're paying out in dollar values, not in Bitcoin value, but I mean, yeah, it can work out, but you can't guarantee that. And most of the time, especially if it's not one of these big exchanges, the chances of you getting paid out when a hack takes place, even if it's not your fault at all, you can complain and complain and complain. You're not going to get your money back if the exchange funds are hacked, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is actually a tool that you can use to protect against yourself. Now, there are a number of different theories about the best way to store your seed phrase. I have yet to come across a better solution than fireproof metal plates where you engrave your seed phrase onto it. I think it's worth the investment. The more money you spend on this kind of thing, the better, because you can get cheap ones that, actually don't really, last very long. But, one of the worst ways to lose all your funds, and I would say it's probably 50-50. Half of it is lost to like hacks and scams. The other half is just carelessness. And I've had the experience of writing down a seed phrase on a piece of paper with a pencil, and I've only realized that it only takes like 2 years for the graphite on the paper to completely wear away and for the words to be ineligible. And when it comes to pen, the words become ineligible after like 3, maybe 4 years. It can become like quite blurry and stuff like that. The paper starts to degrade over time. Paper rots. I mean, paper originated as an organic substance. It's from a tree, right? This stuff is supposed to be biodegrading like into the soil by this stage. 4 years is a long time for a piece of paper to just be sitting around. And let's not take into account the fact that there are moths, there are other things that could wear this away. And the thing is, if you're in Bitcoin, I am assuming that you're in this for the long term. That's if you're smart. If you're in this for speculation, then don't even bother saving your seed phrase, right? You'll just, sell it within the year or something like that. But if you're smart, you're hodling for the long term. And I made, in my previous video, I was remarking on the fact that most millionaires in crypto are Bitcoin maxis, and these are guys that have been in the market for 5 to 10 years, right? And these guys, they're still not selling. They're going to be around for like 20, 30 years, and they're all thinking about stuff like this. They're thinking about 10, 20 years from now, right? And you've got to be thinking about the same thing as well. If you write, or whether using a pencil or a pen on a piece of paper, it's going to degrade over time. If you lose your wallet, you're fucked. It's as simple as that, right? So you can go to Amazon, you can go to Etsy, you can just type it in on Google, fireproof metal plates, and what will usually, I don't know about this particular one, this is just the first one I found when I went onto Google. This one should come with like a metal engraver. It's like a pen with like a tungsten tip, and you can engrave your seed phrase onto this. And then the part 2 of this step is then to put them in a safe. The reason why you should put it in a safe isn't necessarily because of robbers, right? That was what you would think, right? Because you'd think, if someone breaks into your house, thieves are going to come look for you and they're going to take all your money, and, they're going to find these seed phrases lying around and they're going to know exactly what to do with them. they're going to know exactly how to recover a seed phrase and take all the money. That's a part of it, but the big thing is to save it from yourself. If you invest the money into these metal plates, right, first they're expensive, and they look nice and they're shiny, it makes it less likely that you're going to lose it. And then when you have a safe, it's this big metal hunk, it's a big hunk of metal that's just going to sit somewhere in your room, your bedroom, or in your house. You're not going to lose that. You're not going to accidentally throw a metal safe in the bin like you would with, say, a piece of paper, right? Or like if it's stored on a USB somewhere, you could accidentally throw out a tiny bit of this metal USB, right? But the safe is like a constant reminder of value, that inside there's something very valuable in there. And I think it's kind of a mental trick that you're going to play on your mind that says, like, the metal, this big thing is valuable. I know what's inside of it. I'm not going to lose it. This thing isn't going to be accidentally tossed out. It doesn't matter if I'm moving house or whatever. I'm always going to take whatever is inside that safe. Because as I said, the biggest enemy, I think, is you. At least half of all losses in Bitcoin aren't from hacks. It's from people just losing their seed phrase, right? So that's what I recommend. I recommend putting your seed phrase on one of these metal plates, storing them in a safe. And if you've got some money, if you've made some money in Bitcoin, invest in the nicest safe you can get, the most secure, biggest one. Again, not necessarily because you want to deter the most genius of thieves who come with like a diamond tip drill and stuff like that. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it as a reminder for what is in there. And of course, anybody who sees the safe, they can speculate about what's in there. You could even tell them, because the safe is secure, they're not going to be able to steal it, so you don't have to worry about drawing attention to it. It's mainly for you, that you know where it is at all times, and you can protect yourself from yourself, right? So guys, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe. I give a lot of no-nonsense advice about cryptocurrency, how to make money, how to not to get wrecked, and most importantly, how to reduce your reliance on centralized financial systems, whether that's banks or even cryptocurrency exchanges. And I do that by promoting the use of peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges that don't require KYC. I think it's the safest and most anonymous way of purchasing cryptocurrency. So if you want to get involved with that, use my referral link in the description down below. And if you want to get involved in selling cryptocurrency and making money from it without being a degenerate trading monkey, what you can do is you can sell Bitcoin above market rate by selling crypto without KYC, because there's a big market for people that just want to buy and sell crypto without being impeded upon with all these unnecessary laws. If you're willing to fulfill that market, you can sell crypto, via, say, TransferWise or Revolut or whatever other fiat payment system at, like, is 4-5% above market rate. And if you're willing to sell crypto via one of these payment method channels, you'll find that these payment method channels aren't afforded on normal centralized exchanges like Binance or whatever. They only do bank transfer, right? So that's another reason why you can make money selling crypto if you're willing to do so via Revolut, whatever. So if you're interested in learning about how this works, make sure to check out some of my other videos on this. I provide a lot of tutorials on how to do that, and use my referral link in the description down below, and I'll see you later.